ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to another episode of Footprints. I'm your host, Anthony Davis. I'm an educator at BHS, that's Beverly High School, for those folks who don't know. Now you do. And joining me today on the podcast is a guy who did something that is incredible. Today on Footprints, we're going to sit down, ladies and gentlemen, with someone who knows what it means to play hard, right, and both on and off the court, of course. Patrick Cronin spent the past 2 years competing in college basketball at Wentworth Institute of Technology. How about that? And now he's gearing up for a new chapter at the University of New England. But Patrick's game, ladies and gentlemen, isn't just limited to basketball. Let me tell you this. He's also the author of The Happiness Continuum, a thoughtful exploration of philosophy, spirituality, which I love, and how you can kind of build a life filled with deeper joy and fulfillment. I like that. From buzzer beaters to big ideas, Patrick's journey is sort of a blend of discipline, curiosity, and heart. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the lessons that he's learned and the footprints he's leaving along the way. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show, Patrick Cronin.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Tell us something about yourself, Patrick, that nobody knows. Could be quirky, could be funny, whatever it is. Tell us something about you.
What level of nobody are we talking here?
Like nobody knows, like you've kept this a secret. What could it be? Anything. He's thinking.
That's a great question. I feel like I try to be very, out there. I feel like I'm an
You're like an open book, right?
I'm an open book.
You're kind of like me, yeah. I had one little quirky thing that nobody knew about me.
Oh, wow.
He's thinking. I like it. I can see the wheels are turning. Something maybe you did as a kid that nobody knew. Maybe you have like a certain habit. Maybe you like something that nobody knows. Maybe you wanted to be something that nobody knew about. This is something that is yours. Tell us something that nobody knows about Patrick.
Actually, yeah, I got a good one. When I was really little, we just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When I was really little, I was super into singing. However, if you can't tell, I have some vocal cord issues.
Okay.
So that didn't go very well. My singing dreams were cut a little short, but I was in a little youth choir when I was about 5-6 years old.
Okay. All right. So there's something that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced Patrick. This is his book right here called The Happiness Continuum. We're going to talk a little bit about how that came about and why the name and all of that stuff. So that's an interesting thing when you were little, singing, right? Yeah. So here's a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. I've known Patrick's father, Mike, for 25 plus years. In fact,
20, I didn't even know that.
25 plus years. Yeah, see, there's something he didn't know. In fact, Mike Cronin, ladies and gentlemen, used to be the vice president at Saucony, and I was a general manager at Foot Locker at the North Shore Mall. And Mike actually recruited me as a sales manager 25 years ago to be a sales rep at Saucony in Peabody, right? With John Fisher as the owner and all of that. You didn't know that, did you? How about that, huh?
Wow.
Yes, indeed. So I have known your dad that long. And so tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Tell us about your dad. He was a marathon runner.
Yep.
He had some personal bests and things like that.
Yep.
What else did Mike do? What other footprints did he leave on you?
Wow, my dad does it all. I think he's really my biggest role model out there in terms of just balancing everything he was a, excuse me. He was a professional runner. He had 2:18 marathon, 4:02 mile, these world-class numbers. And he really worked his way up from nothing. He only started running, so basketball was his first love. And he started running his senior year of high school. To get in better shape for basketball. He ran cross country in the fall, started out middle of the pack, every race, moving up. And he was all state. Back in his day, you could run winter track and play basketball at the same time, and just kept going and ended up getting a full ride to Assumption University. It's Division II. was a first-team All-American 3 out of his 4 years there. And, you know, back then, no one really transferring wasn't really a big thing. Definitely could have went D1, then ran professionally for Nike while working corporate for Nike. But his first job at Nike was he was talking about the other night, I think, making $3.75 at a local store. And
How about that?
Yeah, his ability to just, you know, work his way up from nothing to then being very successful within the footwear industry. But then I think the thing that I value, respect, and am appreciative of the most is, you know, when me and my brother came around, when we were little, it was always that we came first. He could have been on another sales call, he could have been in another meeting, but he decided he had worked from home a bunch, and whenever it was, Dad, can we go get some shots up in the driveway, or Dad, can we do this, Dad, do that? It was always we came first. So his ability to work hard and, you know, provide the advantages we had, while also always, you know, not getting lost in that and seeing the things that really matter in life are,
Awesome. So those are the footprints right there that have been laid down for you.
Exactly.
Right? You saw those footprints. You saw your dad work hard, came up from nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, here he is doing great things, and you're actually doing that as well. You're carving your own path out. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So 2 years at Wentworth, now you're headed to UNE,
Yep.
right? Not bad. So what's been the biggest lesson for you that at your time as a college athlete, what do you think is one of the biggest lessons you've learned?
Can I do two?
Sure, absolutely.
One is there's levels to the game of basketball in terms of skill, in terms of physicality, athleticism, all of that stuff. And especially, I think I learned a lot more my sophomore year than freshman year of being in the team and, you know, knowing, oh, these guys are coming in and seeing, oh, this kid averaged 25 points a game. This kid did this. And no disrespect to anyone, but they might come in and not sniff the floor their first year or first couple years.
Right.
It's just, there's levels to the game of basketball.
No question.
The other thing that is interesting enough that I think not a lot of people talk about is, you know, when you're in middle school, when you're in high school, coach is always talking about playing at the next level. You got to work hard. You got to do this. And obviously that's very, very true. However, the thing that I noticed is you really got to love it.
Yes.
Division III basketball is for the love of the game. There might be some games a Wednesday night in early January. All the other students are back home enjoying their time off. There might be 12 people in the gym, you know, and it's for the love of the game. And some people don't love it. I didn't realize a lot of people, they don't play 4 years. A lot of people, they quit. They'll transfer. They'll do this because, you know, they lose their love for the game. And so the love of the game is really what comes first.
No question about it. And that's one of the reasons why I coach and I still play. To this day, I'll be 63 next month. Feeling pretty good.
63?
Yes, sir. Feeling pretty good. And I play in men's league still. Playing against guys half my age, and I hold my own. I do all right. So what's one of the toughest on-court moments you've faced, and how did you bounce back from that?
I actually got a really good example for that. So my freshman year, I'm pretty tall, about 6'5", 6'6", but I have been extremely skinny my whole life, like really, really skinny. So I never played inside. I was never a big man. I was, you know, and my dad was always training me. I could dribble, I could shoot, whatever. My freshman, but you know, I am big and had to play inside a little bit, so especially defensively. My freshman year, early September, we get to school and it was the first pickup run. This is before the season starts, no coaches or anything, but it's just all the guys, we run pickup. And I remember, I think I sat out the first game, you know, being a freshman, and then I came in and I match up with my guy, Tyler Stewart, who is 6'6", we'll give him 240.
Oh, my.
He's a big boy.
He's a rock, huh?
All region, all conference, defensive player, all this stuff. Crazy accolades, 1,000-point scorer, incredible basketball player. I'm probably 180, 185 pounds at the time. And I remember I was like, oh, I got Stu. And this dude literally looks at me and laughs. And it was every time in the post, and I could not do anything about it. It was just bigger, stronger, better than me, and I felt like a little kid out there.
Yeah, no doubt. So how did you bounce back from that?
Well, my freshman year was definitely a big transition year, growth year. I didn't play that much that year, and that's pretty normal for freshmen, but I was just, all right, my number one priority was put weight on.
Yeah.
I was in the weight. And so I'll say this, I think it was I might talk about this a little more, but how I framed the event of I wasn't in the rotation, I wasn't getting minutes, could have been all, down and been all mad, but I saw it as an opportunity. All right, I get to lift before game day. I'm not going to get in, who cares if I'm a little sore?
Yeah.
So I was in the weight room a bunch, just putting down food in the dining hall, all that stuff, and I think I put on probably 20 pounds that year, and it helped my game a ton.
Yeah.
So instead of being all mad about it, I saw it as an opportunity.
So you turned an obstacle into an opportunity. Exactly. And a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Right? But again, we talked about reference, you gotta love it, right?
Exactly.
And that's why you did it. That's a beautiful thing. We love that.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to make your mark at UNE coming up this year? How do you plan to do that?
I'm super excited. I think well, for one, with my transfer situation, I was talking to a couple of different schools and had a couple of different options. The biggest thing that connected with me was Coach Silva at UNE. He's awesome in terms of, basketball aside, you can just tell how much he cares about his players. He was a social worker. He's his master's in social work and really applies that lens to coaching. And so I remember, when you go on a recruiting visit, you walk around the campus, you see the gym, you see this.
Yeah.
You'll go up to the coach's office and you'll talk for 20 or 30 minutes. Oh, what guys you got coming back? What's your offense looking like?
Right.
Basic things. All right, thanks, coach. Have a good one. And I got up to this guy's office. This probably has to do with the fact that I can talk.
Yeah.
But we were chopping it up for almost 3 hours.
Wow.
About
how about that?
Athlete mental health and mindfulness for performance and different training techniques and all of this stuff. And it was just a click right away. And I knew
that's amazing.
It was awesome. So and I also really appreciate that he kept it real with me in this process. So to give a little bit of perspective. So my freshman year, I didn't play much. And this past year I was hurt. So I haven't really proven myself at all in college basketball, to be quite honest with you. So I was sending out emails with just basically explaining my situation. I had a little bit of film from a couple scrimmages and from this year before I got hurt. But the biggest thing was my high school highlight tape. I was a good high school player, whatever, but that's 2 years ago. My body's different, my game's different, everything's different.
Right.
And I noticed a lot of coaches were kind of blowing smoke on my skirt in terms of, we want you to come in, be a high impact guy, start right away, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, I've scored 4 college points.
Yeah, right.
And you're talking about me coming in to go start, do this. Whereas Coach Silva said, I think, I can see the potential. I can see your film. I can see what you do well. And with our roster situation, there's a lot of opportunity, but he didn't promise me anything. He's like, and I was still kind of hurt at the time. He's like, I haven't seen you play basketball in person. He's like, he saw me at a couple of AAU tournaments, but he's like, I haven't seen you play basketball in person. Really. I can't make that read. He's like, I see the potential. I see the character. I see the work ethic. But in terms of making these minute promises, it's just not going to happen, which I appreciated more than anything because I appreciate the transparency.
No question, because a lot of programs don't do that. Like you said, they're blowing that smoke up here, you know what?
Exactly.
And they're trying to say, come on in here and do this. And you get there and it's like, wait a minute, the old bait and switch, right?
Exactly. They'll bring in 3 guys that are going to go be their starting point guard.
The old banana in the tailpipe, right?
Exactly. And
that's not good.
Yeah, so I have very high hopes for myself this season. I know I just got to trust. I've been putting in a lot of work for myself. I've been getting healthy, doing everything I can. So the way I try to look at these things is like, I know I've been handling all the work that I can and just let the rest, figure itself out. If it works out or if it doesn't, I know it's out of my hands at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's the thing is you got to sometimes just got to let go of the wheel and let it happen, right?
Exactly.
Naturally, organically.
Exactly.
So college athletes juggle a whole lot of stuff, right? And you even wrote a book, which is awesome. So how do you kind of balance practices, classes, and maybe writing a book, right? Ladies and gentlemen.
That's a great question. I think that's the biggest advantage to, I've been an athlete forever. I've been playing basketball, AAU, all this stuff forever. So I think it's really been ingrained to me from a young age of like, my parents always, pushed me and I always did well in school. Like academics were always really important. So I've been like, obviously it's difficult balancing it, but I've been doing this since 6th grade with, the practices and the workouts and the tournaments and then getting all my work done. So it's definitely a toll, but I think I think the biggest thing is just minimizing downtime of going, all right, practice, shower, right to the library, or, workout. Then it's just boom, 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 boom. And that's just how I like to structure my days.
No question.
Yeah, so I think just time management and all that stuff's important. But I think the biggest thing is just 24 hours is a lot of time in a day. Just don't waste time. You know what I mean? Like
don't waste time. I like that.
If you're not going on your phone, scrolling, doing whatever.
Go do something, right?
Exactly.
Be productive, right?
Exactly.
That's really important. So now, if life was sort of a basketball game and sort of happiness was a championship trophy, what position would you play?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. In life, if life were a basketball game and happiness was the championship trophy, what position would you play?
In the basketball game?
Yes. And in life.
Actually, I'll give you outside the box answer.
Okay, I love it. Go ahead.
I think I'd want to be the coach.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
And what sparked that?
Well, I think in terms of happiness, fulfillment, all that stuff, I think there's two sides of it. I think for one, obviously individually you want to be as happy as possible, but you also want to help as many other people get to that happiness as well. And I think being a coach would probably be the best way to do that in that metaphor.
I love it. I love it. So now we're going to talk a little bit about this, ladies and gentlemen, the happiness continuum, right?
Sir.
We are not broken, but our lifestyles are. I like that. Okay, so tell us, how did you come up with the concept for the happiness continuum? First of all, how did you come up with the name?
I think the concept came first. So,
okay.
Great question. It started a while ago, about a year in my freshman year of college, give or take. And I guess you could say lifestyle choices, things like that. Just, the way I live my life is pretty different than the average college student, I guess you could say, a lot of my friends. Definitely. And not to say that I'm right or they're wrong or anything.
Right.
But I was just reflecting on it. And I know I was at that time, well, still am, but at that time I was, in a good spot and I was happy with all the progress I was making and things of that nature. So it just started out as kind of like a reflection on my life, a reflection on my lifestyle of where do I get my happiness from and how does, basically, it's a framework. So it was just the framework started as a reflection of my life, or partially of my life, but partially of how I want it to be, because I'm not going to be perfect,
Right.
So it started out as that. And then in terms of actually writing the book, so it was a journal thing. I was journaling about it, reflecting, and then it came. I drew out the little triangle with the circle around it and whatever, and I wrote a couple pages of handwritten notes about it, and it was cool. And I stapled it and I put it in my desk, and I totally forgot about it until this spring. I was literally just cleaning out my drawer and I found it. And I was like, huh. I was like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I was reading it and I was like, damn, I was onto something here. You know what I mean? And at first I was very naive with it in terms of I didn't have any plans of, having a physical book in front of anyone.
Right.
But at first I was just trying to type it down because I have terrible handwriting. Really bad.
I'm a teacher.
Yeah. So I was just trying to show my friend it. So I was literally just copying it down and I expanded it on a point here and I added a thing there or whatever. And I remember it was one day while I was subbing actually.
Yeah.
And I was just boom, 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 boom all day because I was in the same classroom every time. I was in the same classroom for the whole day. I was just boom, 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 boom. And I look at the doc at the end of the day and it was like 5,000 words.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit. I got something on my hands here.
You got something going on here.
Yeah.
This is great.
But then I still stayed pretty naive. I was like, okay, maybe I can make it into a little essay or a little this or that or whatever. So I read a lot, and we can talk about that. And I've always had like thoughts of, oh, I'd love to write or whatever. But again, I was very naive at first.
So when you say you read a lot, what type of books do you read?
So it started out as just like general personal development, but a lot of philosophy, psychology, spirituality. I need to read more fiction.
Okay.
I'll say that. But yeah.
So what is your major in college? Is it philosophy?
Social work.
Social work.
Yes.
So that's nice. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
So think about that. Those kind of go hand in hand. They're really synonymous with each other,
So
right?
I'm actually just switching to social work now.
Okay.
I've been doing business management for the last 2 years. And to be quite honest, like somewhat aimlessly, not really knowing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I like talking to people, whatever. Oh, I want to make money. I'll do business.
Right.
But I was, again, just thinking like, all right, what is my life going to look like? I'm getting, I'm 20, like I got to start thinking about
Yeah,
this stuff
yeah,
long
for
term.
sure.
And
You're
it's like,
laying down the footprints of your journey. Your journey's starting to shape out itself, and you want to figure out exactly where I'm headed with that, right?
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And I was thinking it's not that I don't think I could be successful with it long term. I'm confident. I'm saying I know I could, but it's like, at what cost? Do I really want to be in that corporate hustle culture of
Right.
clocking in, being in a cubicle, working my life away, all that stuff? And
Yeah.
no, straight up, no, I don't.
I don't want to do that either.
Exactly. So I was reflecting a little bit on, what am I passionate about? What do I care about? And I knew I wanted to help people. That's number one. But then I was thinking about my passion for, I guess you could say, wellness as a whole. And I think a lot of that comes back to the stuff I read.
Right.
As well as I'm a big meditation practitioner.
Oh, no doubt.
So all of that stuff, I think, is one way to look at mental health and can be very, very helpful to a lot of people. And I know it's helped me a ton. So I think hopefully, eventually, being able to apply a lot of the stuff I've learned with that through a lot of the philosophy, a lot of the mindfulness, things like that, while combining it with the actual clinical social work skills and the Western psychotherapy side of things to give people the best help possible. Because I don't think there's one best way to help anyone. Some people, you might need the Western look at things. You might need the Eastern look at things. You might need a blend. No doubt. You might need a number of different perspectives. And that's what I tried to get a lot of with the book.
In the book, yeah.
I'm just trying to basically, my whole thing is trying to get as much perspective and wisdom from as many different sources as I can.
No question.
To help. At first it was just myself, but
right.
now I want to help
Now you
others.
want to help others,
Exactly.
kind of filter that out into the world, right?
Yeah.
You leave those footprints out there for them.
Yes.
I love that. So can you share a core principle from the book, maybe, that you live by every day?
Yeah. I think one of the key principles is what I refer to as stacking your happiness. So just to, I guess, a brief background summary is the key idea of the continuum, or the pyramid in the middle, is, I was going to say visual.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, visual.
There's different tiers of our happiness, there's different forms of our happiness. And that's not to say we should avoid the bottom and only pursue the top, but we need to recognize it for what it is.
Okay.
So the bottom being short-term fleeting pleasure, the things that feel really good in the moment, the junk food you might eat,
right.
or the, even if it was drugs or alcohol, obviously that would be someone you should try to avoid, but
right.
very pleasurable in the moment,
right.
things like that.
Okay.
Whereas the top, as we move up, it's the working towards big goals for ourselves and making the world a better place, so the top two tiers. So again, I want to be clear, that's not to say you should avoid the bottom and only pursue the top.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Top to bottom.
Right. Not to say you should avoid the bottom and only pursue the top.
Yeah.
It's to recognize what each tier is. The
Okay.
bottom's intense, but it goes right away. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the old saying, like sometimes you got to hit bottom in order to go back up top, right?
Yeah.
Because everything bounces back, right? It's like life's like a roller coaster. It's up and down all the time, right? So let me ask you this: were there any life experiences, basically, that made you stop and think, "Oh, I've got to put this in the book"?
I'll give one.
Okay.
Wait, can I just finish on the stacking thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah.
Go right ahead.
So basically, it's trying to find activities that are going to hit on multiple tiers of the continuum. So I'll give a simple example is, if you go in, after this, we go down to McDonald's and we go get a Big Mac. That's going to be very pleasurable in the moment. It's going to taste really good. Yeah. But long term, it's going to hurt us. It's not going to be good for us. And it's also just going to be, it tastes good in the moment, and then it's nothing but negative.
Right.
But another example would be, let's see, we go do I'm trying to think if I don't know. We go drink a good fruit smoothie. That's very enjoyable in the moment, but it's going to help us in the long term. So it's hitting on our long-term goals of health, of wellness, to be there for others. Another example of that could be, I'll say, travel. Travel is a very fun, enjoyable experience. However, it's expanding our perspective. We're learning about different cultures, different groups of people, things like that. That's very valuable. Trying to think of one more good example.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Even something like, it doesn't have to be just the pleasure. So the top two tiers, virtue, making the world a better place, is top. Below that is working towards goals. Below that is achieving goals. Below that is pleasure, just to give the full overview. So even something like, we're going to get so much more fulfillment if we can align our personal goals with making the world a better place. So I'll use myself as an example of just gaining knowledge and wisdom is something that's very important to me. And at first it was just to better myself, but now I'm aligning it with the bigger thing, that being helping others.
Right.
So just, trying to find things that can check off multiple boxes. I think moving up the pyramid, as I say, is very, very valuable.
So this is one of the reasons why I have this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Footprints. And by the way, if you like our content, please subscribe to BevCam. Also, my website, www.footprintsimpact.com. You can go on, fill out a form, become a guest. Come on and sit with me and tell us your story, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be awesome. It'll be really, time. It is a good time. Who has been the most unexpected teacher in life? Now, we know your dad has influenced you quite a bit, right? But who is someone who has sort of impacted you in a way you really didn't see coming?
That's a good question.
I had a bunch of people do that for me.
Yeah.
Could be a teammate, could be a coach, could be just
easy,
anybody.
Easy. That would be my best friend, Eddie Horaeus.
Okay. All right. So how did Eddie? I do know Eddie.
Yeah,
so how did Eddie impact you?
Well, me and Eddie, so we grew up together playing basketball and stuff. And we were always friends. We remained friends through middle school and stuff. But then when we got to high school is when we really bonded, became really, really close. And that was just, we were on very similar wavelengths. We were both basketball players. We liked working out. We were trying to get to high places. And I think it was very much of like a iron sharpens iron type of thing. Of part of it was just we're both very competitive by nature.
Yeah.
So it was, he started reading this book, then I go read that book. Oh, Eddie, I just started meditating. You gotta check that out. He starts meditating. Oh, let's go. Oh, now we're not going out to that party. Let's go work out. Let's go for a walk. Let's go do this. I think it was just us continuing to kind of push each other up.
Yeah.
We both had so much personal growth and helped each other grow so much. So
you're leaving footprints on each other, impacting each other in that way, pushing each other to be the best version of yourself.
Exactly, 100%.
And that's the beautiful part of footprints, man. Yeah. And it's awesome when it works together like that synergistically. Yeah. Now, how do you personally measure success both on and off the court?
Now that is a good question. I think you can't be too result oriented in terms of, so what I was saying earlier, right? Like, I know I'm trusting, I know I put in a lot of work every day. I know I take care of my body. I know I work out. I know I lift weights. I know I eat the right food. I know I do all those things. And what more can I really ask for? If I still come and I'm, if I get hurt again, or if I'm, if I'm not playing, whatever it may be, I think I'm going to borrow this from Coach Murphy from Gordon College. I used to go to the camps back in the day as a little kid. And he said, success is being the best version of you that you can be. It's not being the best version of Tony. It's not being the best version of someone else. It's you. Right? I can't compare myself to LeBron James.
Right.
I'm not 6'9", 250 and a freak athlete. Like, I could put all the work in the world. LeBron could coast and not do much, and he'll be a better basketball player than me. But I can't get my joy and my fulfillment from that, because it's a never-ending cycle.
Right,
100%. You gotta focus on what you have control over.
Right. And the beautiful part about that is when you're controlling something that is in your environment, you get joy out of doing that, right? Exactly. And then you just kind of leave the things that you can't really control out of the equation completely.
That's the goal, 100%.
Right, that's the goal for everybody. So now, which was harder, finishing your manuscript or preseason conditioning?
I don't want to sound cocky, but I don't think either of them were that difficult.
I love it.
Because, well, two reasons. One is because I love the process of both. Like, I never thought I'd be selling this. I just thought I was writing it for me, and I loved that. And basketball, conditioning sucks in the moment, but don't get me wrong. But, I love it. That's why I'm choosing to do it. That's what I'm there every day for. I love it.
Yep.
I'll also say, again, I chose to write it, and from a logistical standpoint I already had all of the key ideas written out from that initial paper and all that stuff. So in terms of actually writing the manuscript, a lot of it was just expanding on ideas, polishing it, bringing in examples, things like that. And then for the conditioning, my dad is a marathon runner. So I might not be, the fastest, the best athlete in the gym, but I got the lungs from him. So
That's it. I like it. I like it. All right, so we're going to do a couple of quick hitters really fast. And just the first thing that comes to your mind, just say it.
I know I took too long with the first question.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. We're good. We're good. We got plenty of time. So who wins in a one-on-one? Current you or freshman you?
Me.
Currently, right now.
Thriving. Like it would be bad. It would be bad.
Coffee before games? Yes or no?
I don't do caffeine.
No coffee at all? No caffeine?
I
like it. High five. I like it. Me either. I don't do coffee. That's another story. If the Happiness Continuum has a soundtrack, name one song that would be on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I'll attempt to pronounce it. Verdictus Quo by Daft Punk. I listened to that on loop when I was writing it.
Okay. All right. So that's the one that really stuck out.
Really simple melody, but it was just I would listen to it on loop and I got super locked in with it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. One word teammates would use to describe you, and one word you'd hope they'd use.
One word they'd use to describe me.
Yeah.
Weird.
Listen, we're all weird in our own little way.
Anyway, and let me tell you the word I hope they use.
Okay.
It's probably weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be. I think that's like I would say that's probably my biggest fear in life is just being a complete average Joe, like too normal. Here's my quote I like to use. In a society obsessed with mediocrity, why would I want to be normal?
I love it. I love it. You definitely don't want to be normal, right? Always want to set the standard, right? Yeah. That's what we always say, right?
100%.
Live outside the standard, right? And live outside that mold. Break the mold, as always. Okay. This is a good question now.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with any three people, living, dead, or fictional, who's at the table with you?
Chris McCandless from Into the Wild.
Okay.
That's one.
You got three. You got two more.
The Buddha.
Buddha? Mm-hmm. Ooh, Buddha has some great sayings. Buddha has a lot of great sayings.
Yeah. And Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't see my feet, I do have Kobe Bryant shoes on, by the way. Yes, indeed. These are my favorite Kobe Bryant sneakers. If you can't see my feet, take a look. Oh, yeah. These are great. These are the reverse Grinches that Kobe came out with. The Proton 6. I love them. So there's that. That's awesome, by the way, those three.
Yeah.
Right? And so now why those three, though? Why those three? I know Kobe for a reason.
Kobe's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But why the other two?
Well, Buddha I find really interesting in terms of now depending on the lineage and the schools of thought. But I'll say as a blanket statement, he was just a dude.
He was a dude,
right? Like in terms of I was thinking about saying Jesus, but Jesus was. According to the Christian scriptures, he was the son of God.
Yeah, he was indeed. Yeah.
Buddha was just a guy.
Buddha's just a guy.
And he reached.
And he had a lot of sayings.
And he reached enlightenment, and a huge world religion started after just a guy. Now,
so think about that for a minute. There's the footprints that Buddha left.
Exactly.
And people follow those footprints, right?
Yes.
And that's what we're doing every day in our lives, right? People impact us, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes.
And they leave these footprints on us, and that's why we're here talking about it. And I love the footprints that you've actually left. Not only are you leaving, but the footprints that were implanted on you brought you to, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Happiness Continuum. I would recommend getting it. Where can we buy this, Patrick?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go to Amazon, look this up, find it, read it. This is a young man who is on a journey, and his footprints have been remarkable so far. And he's still growing and leaving those as we speak. Well, that's all the time we have today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been my pleasure to have had Patrick Cronin on, talk a little bit about philosophy, spirituality. Say that 5 times fast, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the Happiness Continuum. Please go get it at Amazon. And you can find all our content at BevCam here. Please subscribe to our channel. Also, YouTube channel, Footprints Podcast. Also, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And if you want to be a guest on the show, please, ladies and gentlemen, www.footprintsimpact.com. Go on, check out the website. There's a page there where you can fill it out, get your bio. Come tell us your story. We want to know who impacted you. And I always leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. I leave you with this last one. Okay. Who left a footprint on you? I will see you next time. Bye-bye.